Hello my friends. It's coming on mid-March, nearing the end of March I guess. Not sure what day it is exactly, but yesterday was warm enough my bees should have been flying, and there's no bees flying. So I went ahead and opened up my hives and discovered that well, my bees are dead, and more than likely from kills most bees is beekeepers. I didn't provide enough ventilation either before winter or during winter. So you can see here on this one I have it all wrapped up covering the upper entrance, and before winter I had a terrible wasp problem, and I went and plugged up all the holes anywhere the wasps were trying to get in, including the entrances, right? And reduced the entrance. But anyways, you can see here in the box, I don't know if you can see it, starting to mold a bit, and this discoloration. I have it sitting in the sun here, trying to dry it out. But the boxes were collecting moisture, and it was starting to mold, discolor. But yeah, so more than likely, you can see this is the brood that they went into winter with. So this should have been winter bees. And well, you can see here the finger is, but yeah, there's still bees coming out. So I figured the humidity was too high, and we got really cold real quick, and killed them off because they have plenty of food. This was a huge colony too. Had their mite treatments. They all look healthy. I've been watching and collecting any that fall out of the hive and cardboard there. And the rest are. All these frames are heavy. I only pulled out of three deep boxes. I pulled 3 empty frames. But yeah, there's not even a lot of bees in here. So what I did, because there was some mold on top of some of the frames, so when your beehive dies and you know what killed them, you want to reuse stuff, I got good advice to sit them out in the sun, dry them off a bit. I'm going to cut out any brood that's still in there, brush off any dead bees in this brood. So I'll cut that out, scrape that out with my hive tool so that doesn't go moldy. These all sitting out in the air, and what little sun we do have today. Yeah, just any extra wax I'll scrape off. So I'll be doing this, cleaning off the dead bees, cutting out any brood, separating the frames that do have, you know, visible mold. You can see here too, here's a sign that it was a humidity problem. And I'll try to get in here on it. But you can see little droplets. What I've learned is the honey starts rehydrating. It expands, pushes through the cell cappings, starts dripping out. That's what I see all over this frame. But they definitely didn't starve. They have plenty of honey. So I'm on the lookout now for a couple nukes of bees, so I can get some bees in here. Hopefully in a month or two before these all get ruined by mold or something. But if they're dry, I'm going to move them inside. I'll show you that after. But keep them warm and dry and they should be okay. As for the boxes, I'll take them out of the boxes until the boxes are dry. And where I have mold starting here I'm just going to take fire and char the inside of these boxes before I use them again. And yeah, a little tiny bit of mold on some of the frames won't be a problem for the bees, but I don't want all the frames going moldy. There's plenty of resources too. These frames are heavy with honey, and these bees hatched out and left the honey stores behind. It's really curious. I'm pretty confident it was a moisture problem. But yeah, let me clean this up. I'm going to scrape off this bottom board real good. Collect the bees, take a close look, make sure there's no deformed wings or anything, signs, and see how many mites are on the bottom board maybe. See what I can see, but I'm pretty confident with the mold starting to grow and dampness obvious in the wood. Like this one was even darker as in the corner there. I don't know how well, if that's light enough for you to see. There's mold and stuff starting. These boxes were pretty clean in the fall, so I don't have mold in the winter. But yeah, totally my fault. Do better next time. I know it was ventilation. I was worried about it even before winter, but yeah, I'm a dumbass. But yeah, I'll get these all cleaned up and then show you how I keep them stored till I can get bees in them. Hello my friends. So this is my second hive. It's dead out. My bees died. More than likely it's from poor ventilation. I forgot to put the inner covers for some reason on top of the quilt box. So there would be a space between that and the lid. And I insulated over the top entrances. And I reduced the lower entrances. And my bees died. Totally my fault. I mean, I could blame it on mites or the weather or something else, but I'm pretty sure it was me. If you look here, try to zoom in. I'm standing in a bunch of snow. It's still not very nice out. But you can see along the cell cappings, there are little glistening droplets. That's the honey rehydrating and pushing through the cell cappings. So that's a sign the humidity was way too high in the hive, as the honey has been reduced, right, in moisture content before the bees cap it. And the cappings will protect it in most natural circumstances. So obviously something unnatural went on here, and that would be the beekeeper, right? That would be my fault. So I accept that responsibility. It doesn't feel good losing your bees by simple mistakes, but it's a learning experience. So what I'm doing here, just taking out all the try to stay out of the light here, taking out all the frames, clean off the dead bees, separate the honey frames from the frames that brood on them, and separate the frames that aren't my frames and that I got in my very first nuke, because those frames I won't be able to extract anything from or use. I can give them back to the bees or just clean them off maybe. They are getting old. I can't guarantee what treatments or what's in that wax or where the bees were foraging. But all my frames I treat only with organics, like formic acid last summer. And my area is there's a bit of pasture land, but no spray agriculture, you know. So I'm just letting them sit in the sun. Ultraviolet radiation will kill any mold, spores and stuff that we're spreading and growing in here over the winter. Whatever's growing in there surely does not like light. You know, the inside of a beehive is very dark, so any spores or anything, it's a good way to kind of sanitize your frames. But yeah, basically pull them all out. The box will have soaked up some moisture. My other boxes were in worse shape than these. But I'm going to pull the frames out, I'm going to warm and dry, extract the honey off them, clean off any dead bees, scoop out and scrape off any brood cells. This is another thing here. This is a something else that tells me I was making mistakes. My other hive had the my drone frame. These green frames are a larger size cell, allows the bee to make drone comb on a frame instead of just haphazardly all over the hive. But it's a good way to help manage your varroa mites also, because varroa mites prefer the big fat larvae of the drones. So what you do is you pull these out, put them in a freezer, and then you can check for varroa, or it also kills major amount of them. You can see here too, lots of discoloration. That's some mold starting. So all that darker, all this comb in here I'll cut out. And the honey on here, this is an untreated frame again, so even though it does have brood, even a bit of mold going on there, the sun will kill back this. The honey should be fine. I'll extract it. None of this honey is going to be sold. I'll probably make mead and eat it or whatever. If anyone wants it, I'll give them some. But yeah, just a quick look inside, cleaning off the dead bees, removing all the frames, making sure it doesn't get worse than it is. I'll store them up at the house, extract the honey. The clean empty frames will go back in boxes until I can get some more bees. But yeah, just a quick look at what I'm doing, and I'll show you the rest of it next. So I've taken both my hives apart, taken all the equipment apart, used the sun and the wind to dry it out as best I can. I have all the frames out of the boxes. They're hanging here on a beehive stand. It's designed to hold frames without them falling in between. So I don't need a frame holder when I'm inspecting hives. I can just use the stand the hives are sitting on. So I'll keep them warm and dry here in the garage. I got them all sitting on here. The ones that had good honey on there, easy extractable frames, are already in the house. A lot of these frames will also be extracted. Some with the crystalized honey I'm going to keep as a food reserve for the summer's bees. But if you have a trick of removing the crystallized honey from the comb, I would love to hear it. Please leave a comment below. These first 5 frames here are from my original nuke. I won't be extracting anything from them, and maybe not even using them again. I can't guarantee what the bees were treated with before I got them, and I'm an organic natural beekeeper, so all my frames are safe to take honey from, even if they're brood frames. But the original nuke I got, I wouldn't trust taking that honey and eating it or giving it to someone else to eat. So I'll be leaving those. It's good reserves for bees if I need them in an emergency or something. But by the end of this summer I should have plenty more fresh frames of nectar and pollen and honey. I may not even need them. But yeah, so just prevent mold and keep these frames in good condition till I can use them. I get them out of the wet boxes, and on this drying rack here, the sunshine helped a lot also. I've cleaned off all the dead bees, all the brood that was still in there, so that doesn't go moldy, because that will probably go moldy. Those dead bees are rotting. And yeah, also I used my hive tool, tore everything apart with that, scraped the frames with that, and yeah. So these will sit here. Some of these will be extracted. Others will wait till I have bees. And that's about it for that. I'll take you in the kitchen and show you the rest. Alright, I'm in the kitchen here. What you're looking at is a frame I just extracted. Removing all the honey. It's a pretty good frame of honey. Pretty solid frame. So out of my 2 hives that died, I got 3 deep supers of honey frames. I'm just extracting them here in a easy bucket and scraper. Scraping off the wax cappings and place them in a manual extractor. I've only done, I think, about 8 frames, and filled up enough that I had to empty it. But yeah, got on in here, just filtering out all the bits of wax I had scraped off, whatever might fall in there. And yeah, starting to get some honey already. Expect to get a lot more. Get what I can out of these frames. Once they've been extracted, they should be fairly dry, and they shouldn't mold, at least not if I keep them in a warm, dry area. Yeah, it's a quick look. Tearing down 2 hives. What I do with the frames. These extracted frames will be stored back in the boxes and wait till used for honey production this summer. Or if I need extra frames with a comb, build up a brood box quickly or something. We'll see how it goes, and I'll share it with you. Alright, well, thanks for joining me. Please subscribe, and I hope you're having a great day wherever you are, whenever you watch this. Peace.